Chris, how are ya?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Barry?
Oh man, hanging in there. Just finished up filming a concert of an Electric Light Orchestra tribute band. They had they had wigs and trying to look like the people. Anyway, they were good players. But it started raining on us, and I had to pack up and get out of there. So how's it going with you?
Everything's all right. Everything's okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool. Um, what are you? Let's wait a second here and give some people a chance to get in, and then we'll get kicked off. Let's start off with the map tonight, and there we go. Start off with the map. Um, let's start off with let's start off with Haiti, Chris.
Okay.
What's the latest from your end on Haiti?
All right. So the latest is,
Anything?
of course, those troops have arrived, right? Some of the troops have arrived.
Mm-hmm.
And remember we talked about cover for action some time ago? You know,
Mm-hmm.
we'll give you the appearance that we're of course fighting, the gangs, which they are, but there's also a bigger objective, right? And the bigger objective is really to capture the ports, okay? Because you see how Russia and China, I guess in Cuba, they have actually landed in the ports and started to make friends or those alliances with um with those countries. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to block the ports. So those Kenyan forces and everyone else, they're kind of just like cannon fodder, you see. But the other thing is we have I've heard that there will be PMCs on the ground, private military contractors on the ground, and this is a straight kill mission to like go after the gang leaders like Guy Philippe and
Cersei.
Jimmy. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
to
Jimmy
get rid of
Barbecue
them
Cersei.
because right, but also it's because I believe I think there are other external influencers that are helping you know um Cherizier and Guy Philippe. So if you get rid of those two and whoever else, whoever maybe they're chain of command. So if you get rid of those two and whoever else, maybe the chain of command or however they have it set up, then you can influence whoever else, with money to join on the U.S. side and not so much on whoever the external influencer is. That makes sense?
The States is paying for the Kenyan troops,
Yes,
right? We're funding all
yes.
of
But
this.
not only that, right? But not only that, like I said, there'll be private military contractors on the ground. All right, and their function is to,
Have
my
you
understanding,
this
is to capture the ports.
thing about private military contractors going into Ukraine?
I haven't heard anything about that, but think about it. If you don't want American boots on the ground, what's your other option? You can deny that,
Pay somebody
right?
else to do it. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
plausible deniability,
yeah.
right?
I'm kind
That's
of
plausible
anticipating
deniability,
we
right?
start hearing that.
So why not? So why not use them? You there? Hello?
It's not showing anything. There we are. It shows we're back now. Okay. I anticipate we start hearing that um, paid fighters are going into Europe or going into Ukraine. Um, all right, let's stick
Yeah,
with.
Russia.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Uh, with
I mean,
with the
I don't know if you
Wagner
heard that,
group, right?
right, but I mean, I don't know if you heard. Well, I'm just gonna skip that one altogether.
No, go
I'm gonna
ahead.
skip that one altogether. So,
Why's that?
um, no, no, I'll skip that one altogether,
Okay.
just
All right.
because.
All right.
Um, I think it'd be better for a later show once I get
Okay.
more information.
All right. That's fair enough. So Bolivia, Chris, Thursday, Bolivia had or
Attempted coup.
Wednesday, I guess it was. Bolivia had a coup for about 6 hours. Are we responsible for that, Chris? Bolivia's getting
I
tight
really
with
don't know.
Russia. Would the CIA have pushed that general to try to overthrow the government? Because that's one of the buzzes going around.
Well, if they're getting close ties to Russia's getting close ties to Bolivia, listen. You see, this is all brick stuff. You see,
Hmm. Yeah.
so the whole Brazil,
Right.
it borders Bolivia.
Right.
So don't think that Russia doesn't have. Russia's going to start getting a foothold all throughout South America too. All right. So if
And
that's the case,
like you said at the jump here, both Russia and Cuba, both Russia and Cuba are both Russia and China are making inroads in Cuba and Mexico.
right, right. So it looks like they're making the push to dominate. It's like world domination to a certain extent. You see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
At the
whole
expense of the
so
United
if that
States.
whole thing in Bolivia, right? So the whole thing about the Bolivia thing, and you saying that CIA pushed the general to do it. That's a very strong possibility. You see, because now we block Russia
Mhm.
from getting in there. You see,
Right. But it
it's a
failed.
counter. It's a counter move. It's all.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's just
So
a
it
it's
it
just a
failed,
counter
right?
move. It did fail. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it failed. So because it failed, then Russia can still get a foothold within Bolivia, and you know, it, if Russia gets
Mhm.
that foothold in Bolivia, well, then it's got what's the United States going to do then? Because obviously
Right.
we might have some interest in Bolivia. You see, so but
Um,
like I said, we play checkers. Everyone else plays chess.
you okay, you Brazil, we talk about Brazil a lot as being the B in the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Um, Brazil, um, would we consider Brazil a military threat? I know they're aligned with
No,
BRICS,
no,
and I think that's more on
no,
the
no,
economic
no,
end for Brazil. Um, I don't think we consider Brazil a military threat, do we?
no, not at all. There's no way.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's move over to Africa then um before we get into last night's debate. Um, Libya and Algeria are going at it over a territory right here that is Libyan territory, and Algerian troops have occupied this little box thing here. I'm not sure what exactly is there, but Libya is getting militarily prepared to address the situation. Um, that should stay between the two of them, shouldn't it, Chris?
It should, but things spread.
Yeah, but it's 2024, right? So
Yeah,
everybody's got their nose in everybody else's business.
right.
And I'm
Exactly.
sure Russia and China and the United States, all three, probably France and Great Britain as well, are still trying to get inroads into Algeria and Libya after removing
Right.
Gaddafi. That wasn't that long
Right.
ago.
Right. No, what was that? What year did that happen? Was that like um I'm trying to
It
remember.
was it was um, it was George W. because it was right before Obama because Obama got
Uh,
Bin Laden. So
yeah, but
all
but
right.
but 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 what's his face also got um Muammar Gaddafi. That was Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. They also got rid of um
You got rid of
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi. Is that
Yep.
is that where the embassy was? That embassy in Libya where we lost troops?
Yeah, Benghazi.
Benghazi. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's move over a little bit to well, um, Other things going on in Africa, Chris. The Congo and Kenya. Um, this past week, the president of Kenya tried to enact a tax, and uh,
Yeah, and everyone
a
lost
massive
and
citizen
went
uprising.
crazy, and they stormed the parliament. Yep. Yep. So I guess it's the beginning of the
Yeah.
revolution, supposedly in Kenya, right? Because they want to get rid of Ruto
Hmm.
after
Right.
all the stupid stuff that he did,
And he is
and sending
the Kenyan leader. Um, Biden said that Kenya was the most important ally to the United States outside of NATO. So that kind of puts an X on his back, doesn't it?
I guess. I guess.
And
I would.
I don't understand the statement myself, but I guess with the way the political tide is rolling in Africa, the United States needs to try to find whatever friends that we can find.
Yeah, and
Would
I've
that be a fair
told
assessment?
yes, yes, but everyone's turning on us, you know, because like I told you, why? Listen, we're not even proactive in the things that we do. We react to everything. I mean, we're just dumb like that. We really are. So whatever happens, happens, and I just we just don't believe in mitigating problems. They want the problem to be there, then they react to it. Then it's too late. So what can I
Somebody
say?
either shot a shotgun or a firework just back behind my house. Oakley. All right. Uh, all right. We've kind of zoomed in here, Chris, on the map wise. Um, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. Um, Thursday in the afternoon, Thursday night over in Israel. Israel bombed Gaza. They bombed Damascus, Syria, and they bombed in southern Lebanon. Basically, three separate countries in the same day. I think you and I kind of hit the nail on the head when we started talking about this shortly before October 7th, that Israel's plan is to not have a two-state solution in any way, shape, or form. They want to remove all of the Palestinians from their area. And the way Israel sounds, they want to take Lebanon and most of Syria as well. They want to go to the biblical lines, the lines that
Right. The biblical.
that
That's right.
allegedly God gave. Yeah. So talk about that a little bit.
All right. So, I don't know if your audience members has ever looked at a biblical map of how what Israel used to be like, um, BC time frame, right? It actually extended pretty much all the way up to Turkey, right? Um, so Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Israel. That was all part. That was all Israel at that time frame. I don't know if your audience knows that. So now I think they're trying to go back to those um, those areas, or those markers of where um, biblical Israel used to be, not the Israel of today. So
Yeah, I'm trying to when it was when it was divided up into all the regions of the tribes.
right, yeah, right, right,
Yeah.
right. But see, a lot of people don't
Okay,
understand that.
I got a
See,
and and it also extended deep down into the Sinai.
yes,
It was Edom and Moab and Ammon, Reuben and Gad and Judah and Simeon, Ephraim,
right,
Manassas, um, and it went on up. Um, Here's Joppa, and right in here is modern day Beirut, correct?
right. That's correct. But
Okay,
but you see, like
so
you see how um, big biblical Israel was, as opposed
right,
to Israel of today.
right, and and they want to take the borders back to where it was in
Right.
the
That's what they're. I think that's what they're trying to do.
I mean, it seems like what they're trying to do, and I think enough of them have declared it, that even though Netanyahu or the military leaders haven't officially said it, I think enough people have declared it that we can just take them at their word.
Right.
Okay, so the last area, um, we need to go up here to Ukraine and Russia real quick. This this area has kind of calmed as far as major events in the past several days, Chris. There's still skirmishes and things going around, but there hasn't been any major, um, or at least that I'm aware of. There hadn't been any major pushes or um, any kind of offensive efforts being launched. They're just kind of stalemated. And the word that came out of Kiev from Zelensky was that they want to prepare for peace because the Ukrainians have lost. They've got so many dead and so many wounded, and they're having trouble filling their ranks. So um, that brings up, I guess I have to ask this. I don't have to ask it, but I'm going to ask it, and it may be cynical, but if Zelensky wants peace and Russia wants peace, um, will we, being the United States, NATO, and the West, allow peace? Or
Nope, nope. They want to keep Russia. They want to keep going at Russia. Watch.
that was my yeah, yeah, that was my that was my um, feeling. That's what I thought you would probably answer.
Uh-huh.
Um, talk about that a little bit. Why would we want to do that instead of just letting this end peacefully?
Right, because there's too much money to be made. You have to understand the military and industrial complex. They're making a ton of money from all
Yeah,
these weapons being made and being sent to Ukraine. That's a lot of money, right? And plus, I
yeah,
think we also want to like kind of get rid of Russia, But that's not going to happen. But the bottom line is the economics behind it, and those companies that provide weapons, to our government, and then they send those weapons overseas. They're making a lot of money off this war, so they want that money to keep coming in. Bottom line.
bottom line. All right. Um, I'm going to start out, and before we get to the debate, um, Chris, I want to share something that this was going on last night. While the debate was going on, there was a fairly significantly large group trying to get to the CNN building where um, President Biden and former President Trump were debating last night, and primarily college students. But I just want to listen. I just want us to listen to a little bit of their rhetoric.
Let's be clear that this is not a peaceful protest and we are not pacifists. We are not merely trying to make our voices heard or raising awareness. The days of protest are behind us. And to be peaceful in the belly of the beast that commits unlimited genocide on the global south is a disgrace. We refuse peace in a world where this monstrous Babylon still exists. It is time that we follow the lead of the militants of oppressed nations. It is time to change our orientation from one of protest to one of resistance. On June 12, 2020, Rayshard Brooks was lynched.
Okay. We get the gist. Again, Scooter Caster is where you can find this, and we got another clip from Scooter coming up right after this that went on tonight. But Chris, I'd like to get your thoughts on that, on what we just saw.
First of all, they sound completely stupid. Okay, completely stupid. If they talk about resistance, they're gonna get mowed down. That is like they're a bunch of clowns. That's like Antifa. You see, that group is like an Antifa. They will get their asses handed to them.
Okay.
They'll try some resistance. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Those people aren't built like that at all. They're not. So these are young college students, probably never been in a fight in their entire lives. See, it's the same thing. It's the same story. It doesn't matter. All these people, yeah, we're gonna talk resistance and we're gonna fight and we're gonna do this. These are college students. These kids have never been in a fight in their entire lives. You see, and they're talking about, oh, we're gonna do
Yeah.
this or we're gonna do that. As soon as the first bullets start coming towards them, or the first time someone gets punched in the face, they're gonna ball up and start crying and go hide underneath a bed or something, and they'll be like, I want to do this shit. That's them. You see, that's what you're dealing with. So
Okay. An
don't
hour ago,
that's
doesn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no that they're all talk. They're not gonna do anything.
Okay. Dozens of arrests have happened an hour ago. Protesters with smoke bombs clashed with riot police outside Biden campaign event. This time tonight, it's at Manhattan Center on 34th Street in New York.
What are you guys
Clear the block! Clear the block! Clear the block! Clear the block!
We're going to see a lot of these scenes through the summer, aren't we, Chris?
Yeah, that's just that's little stuff. You know, that's little stuff. I
Yeah.
don't foresee them doing anything really violent. They're not. These college students aren't. Listen, these college students today are so lame. You know, they act like they want to be tough, but they're not. You know, half of them are on medication anyway for whatever, like taking antidepressants or whatever else. So you know, like they're unstable. Take their meds away, and they'll like jump off a building or something. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm being very serious. Okay.
I
it-
know you are, man. I know you are. I apologize. For that.
you take their meds away, and they'll start crying over something that's completely stupid. You slap the shit out of them, and then they even cry even more. You see, they won't fight back. You see, so you know if they even think of doing something, it'll fail because they're just not geared for that type of, you know, they're not like the militant Islamist, you see, or one of these militia members here in the United States. They're not like that. Okay. These are college students who are like little children mentally. Okay. Physically, they might have a body like a man and all this other stuff, but mentally, they're like little children. Bottom line.
Okay.
And all you guys, and all you, like I said, all you really have to do is punch them dead square in the face and they'll stop. That's easy.
Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until you punch them in the mouth.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, let's get into some of the debate stuff here now that we've been going about a half hour already. Axios, before the presidential debate, this was a scoop Axios had an hour ago. Before the debate last night, Chuck Schumer, senator, signaled to politicians other than if Biden's debate performance was disastrous. I would say Biden's debate performance checked the disastrous box and maybe even then some. Chris, what do you think?
And it wasn't very good. I can tell you that much. So you know, you know, after a performance like that, I'm sure the Democratic Party was like, "Uh-oh, we need to make a change immediately." You know, and you know, like I said, and we discussed this before. You know, a lot of people said it's gonna be Michelle Obama. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Nah.
No.
Yeah, I think it's gonna actually be Gavin Newsom. I really do. And or maybe who's that Gretchen Whitmore from
Whitmer.
from Michigan? Yeah, from Michigan. And but I don't see Michelle Obama even.
I think it'll be Newsom.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Newsom too. All right, and I think that's gonna come during the Democratic National Convention, right? Or maybe even sooner.
Okay, this is our funny bit for the night. Who would Alexa trust as president more than Trump? This guy evidently asked Alexa, and here's how she responded. Make sure we got it up.
Alexa,
What's your question?
who would you trust as president more than Trump?
Wow, who to trust more than Don Von shits his pants? Okay, let's see. Joe Biden. Joe Biden's dogs. Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. Any Democrat with the pulse. Fuck it. Any Democrat without a pulse. Any Republican that doesn't own a red hat, but good luck finding one of those. The toothless lady in Walmart wearing pajama pants, slippers, and a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt. Winnie the Pooh. Hawk 2 girl. Jeffrey Dahmer's personal chef. A rock, not Dwayne Johnson the Rock, but an actual rock. Michael Jackson's pharmacist. The guy who eats gas station sushi. The student who finished behind Marjorie Taylor Greene in high school. Ha. Just kidding, that's not even possible. Lauren Bobbert's handyman. Now, let's see yours in the comments.
Lauren Bobbert's handyman. All right. New York Times editorial board calls on Biden to drop out of the race, saying the clearest path for Democrats to defeat a candidate defined by his lies is to deal truthfully with the American public and acknowledge that Mr. Biden can't continue the race and create a process to select a replacement.
I'm-
Chris, that sounds awfully logical, right?
Yeah, but the government logic doesn't apply.
Right. Okay. I'm going to end up with Trey Crowder. Biden gave a speech today in North Carolina. Trump was in Virginia, and here's part of his speech.
These guys, you'll never get them done. You'll never get them done. They don't have any clue. All they know is electric. They want electric army tanks. They want electric planes. What happens if the sun isn't shining while you're up in the air? Well, sir, those, I told you there'd be problems, sir. No, they want electric everything. They want electric boats. The problem, the boats, they don't float because the battery is so heavy, it sinks the boat. They say, we don't care. We want them anyway. These guys.
Is that what's going on in the military, Chris?
You know what? I couldn't begin to tell you, Barry. I haven't researched that, nor have I really spoke with anyone, on that issue.
Yeah, I need to find somebody. I need to find somebody to see if that's really what's happening. Of course, you can use electric power even when the sun's not shining.
Yeah.
Chris Wallace, veteran moderator of many debates, including I think he did Trump Biden back in 2020. He said last night, you can't come back from this. You can't be on a stage where tens of millions of Americans watched you and come up empty. And that's what he did tonight. He's put out the same sentiment that I put out right afterwards. This is Joe Biden's political death knell. And I also said last night, Chris, I said, the Democrats are going to try to replace him on the ticket. The Republicans are going to try to replace him now in the office. And Chip Roy did that this morning. He announced he intended to put forth a resolution calling upon the vice president to immediately use her powers under Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to convene and mobilize the principal officers of the cabinet to declare the POTUS is unable to successfully discharge duties and powers of his office. Okay, Democrats aren't going to do that. The VP is not going to do that. The cabinet members aren't going to do that yet. The fact that Republicans are putting that out serves to remind all of us that there's another way of getting into the White House, of becoming president. And that is by being the Speaker of the House in a situation where both the president and vice president are not fit or out of office. A lot of things can happen, Chris, over the next few months here in America.
A lot of things. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. The
Um, and I've talked on here. I've talked on here before that, and we've harped on the fact that the diehard Trumpers, the Trump no matter what, there's whatever percentage of them there are. Apparently, there is a percentage of would vote for Joe Biden even if he shot Trump on Fifth Avenue. This I found both puzzling and amusing. Came out 23 hours ago. So there are those that are just they're okay with 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 Biden's activities last night. And I would let me get through this and then I'll ask you what I was going to ask, Chris. Supreme Court denied Steve Bannon's bid to remain free pending appeal of his contempt conviction, and he has to. He's been ordered to report for prison on July the 1st. The shoot the I forget what I was going to say. Crap. We were talking about the number of people that just follow Trump regardless. The
right.
number of people that just are following Biden. I mean, here's his speech today. We showed Trump earlier. Here's his speech today. And what I wanted to ask Chris that to tie all of this together is, what do you think the other world leaders thought when they saw Biden last night?
Oh boy, they're like this. They're probably up there laughing. They're laughing like, "Hey, let's just take over some more stuff right now." And that stuff that we're talking about, like um, with Russia and Ukraine, Russia probably like, let me just finish Ukraine off, and China's like, you know what? Let's just invade Taiwan. You know, they're
Yeah.
laughing. They're laughing. You know,
Um,
like what would you listen? What did you think?
me,
Yeah, what did you think?
I I made two comments at the very beginning, and then I purposely muted my mic so that I would not talk over anything or interrupt anything. And when Trump came out, I thought he looked tired and like he didn't want to be there, and I said that. And then Biden spoke, and the first word out of Biden's mouth, I said, Biden's weak. And I did not realize how weak he was. I kept kind of anticipating that we would get more from him. Instead, we kept getting less and less. And when the first break came on, first commercial break they took, I came back onto the program and said there are Democratic candidates, Democratic operatives. They are on group chats, group texts, whatever it is that the kids use nowadays. They are in a group at the moment, all setting their hair on fire, wondering, what are we going to do? Because there's no way Joe Biden beats Donald Trump.
Exactly. I agree with that. But the bottom line is Trump gonna make it? You know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
that's the
Yeah.
that's the big that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Is he
Yeah.
actually gonna make it?
That's
So
um and I want to get down to um okay, this was 23 hours ago, Chris. So this came out uh, um this came out actually I believe the debate was still going on. Hosts of MSNBC, um, Joy Reid brought up the Dem convention math. Someone actually sent me the rules. Nicole Wallace goes ahead and says, yes, the rules are circulating. So the rules of the Democratic convention, as far as how to have a contested convention, uh, how to remove the presumptive nominee, those rules started circulating before the debate was over, Chris.
well, there's your answer, right? There's your
Yeah.
answer. There's
Yeah.
time for him to go, right?
And yeah, and I've got the clip of Trump actually saying American soldiers were losers and suckers, and he lied about it. And also, um, he said it had been debunked. It's not debunked. He said it on TV. So about the Nazis in Charlottesville, those were the two big points Biden wanted to try to make. Nikki Haley, Chris, Nikki Haley came out again shortly after the debate, right after the debate. Mark my words, Biden will not be the Democratic nominee.
But
Republicans, get your guard up. Nikki Haley also came out today with a picture of herself saying, have you missed me yet?
Yeah, well, we already discussed that, right? We already said that Biden was not going to be the nominee, correct?
Yeah, right.
We've
Yeah.
said that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You see, so I mean, this should be nothing new, because well, I mean, you're the political you're the political genius, So, and you called that. How long ago did you call that?
And Gavin filling in for Biden last night.
Right, but I mean, you called that sometime a while ago, you know. So, and
Yeah.
and you've been pretty much been spot on with that whole um, political process. And you said Gavin Newsom was actually going to be most likely our next president, or at least he's going to
Yeah.
be running against whomever on the Republican, on the Republican
Right.
ticket. So, yeah, it's Biden's done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So,
Yeah, and I mean it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right away. But again, like the convention will be the time. Um,
right.
this was my most. This is my favorite moment of the debate last night.
Take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest rider. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was at 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, how many good?
Let's not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
Take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest.
The only time the two guys really got angry with each other was when they were talking about playing golf. I don't know.
Like, does that even matter?
No. No. Yeah, no. I mean it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. But that's the only time the two of them really got anywhere close to any kind of passion towards each other. They got offended because their golf skills were questioned. Um,
Well,
we can do better, Chris, can't we? As Americans,
we could. We could do a whole lot better, but we're not going to. So it is what it is, right?
it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. Hey, as always, thank you very much for being here, man.
And thank you for having me on the show again, Barry. It's greatly appreciated.
We'll do it. We'll do it next Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, if
All right, sounds good.
God willing and the creek don't rise, kind of thing.
All right, I'll talk to you then.
I've got an Elvis impersonator next week.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Okay, you take care.
Greatly
Have a good
appreciate you.
night.
Thank you, Chris. All right. All right. Again, thanks to Chris for being here. Thanks to all of you for being here. Fred, Pat, Sissy, Guy, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to, of course, we'll keep track of all this stuff that's going on. For the moment, Joe Biden's president of the United States. It's going to be that way for the next little bit, but things are going to change in our country, and things are going to be changing politically, and we are just I didn't even touch on the Supreme Court rulings today, and the Supreme Court ruled that the obstruction of justice charges against those that took part in the January 6th, those obstruction charges will be removed, or the people will be retried. Also, and that's gonna cause a lot of people, to go a little wacky. But the big thing they did, and because of the January 6th tie-in, that ruling was going to get the majority of the attention. What they basically did was the Supreme Court took a bunch of power for themselves. They ruled that the Supreme Court was the final decision in what was necessary for the environment. The EPA, what's going to be necessary for commerce. A lot of power was taken out of the executive branch of government by the Supreme Court today, and I don't think it's going to get talked about other than places like here and other places online, because I don't know if the linear media will get into that, because you start talking about court cases and regulations and safety and things like that, and that doesn't sell a lot of advertising dollars. It doesn't make for a lot of viewers, but it's information that I fully believe people need to know, and we're going to keep talking about those kind of things and more. We'll be back Monday night, if not before. Monday at 11 Eastern time, and maybe before then, because I've got a potential thing anyway. So thank you for watching. Blessings be upon each and every one of you. Wish you peace. Love you all like chocolate chip cookies. Positive vibrations to everybody. It is a dark world. Do try to be a light. Hit the like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.